Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Whenever you find yourself in a position as a woman, when you are the only woman in a group, whether it be business or pleasure, you would think that you would be highly protected. Never in a million years would a woman think that when she is inside of a group, whether it is business or it is pleasure, that she may be violated in a sexual manner from a man or men within said group. Today we're going to talk about a situation that happened to Sukihana. And the reason why we're going to speak about it is because it seems that some of the brothers and some of the sisters blur the lines when it comes to disrespect for a person that they may not particularly care for or like. Welcome to Big Girls Panties. Welcome back to BGP. And let's talk about it. How y'all doing, ladies?
Good.
Good. For those of you who may not know who Sukihana is, she is a rapper out of Florida. I think she's like 35 years old. And she's also on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And she was with a group of men, which include Young K. Osiris. Did I say his name correctly?
Okay, yeah.
Because y'all know I be messing up names around here.
Yeah.
And they were at an event, which was, what we say, business? And we're going to have the engineer roll the tape, and then we're going to come back and talk about the disrespect. Go ahead.
Oh my! Oh,
Young, or YK, he is young, he's 24 years old. YK Osiris, he is also a rapper out of Florida. And I just want to set it up a little bit. Earlier, before that happened, they were talking sexually back and forth. She was telling him that she'd turn this little young butt out. And then he proceeded to leave his seat and go rub on her shoulders and kiss her on the cheek. Okay. Then he went back and he grabbed her face and he pushed her head back and he stuck his tongue down her throat, not one time but twice. Your thoughts, Adrian?
Absolutely disrespectful, disgusting. And here's my thing. I know Suki can be she's a little wild or whatever. People may dislike her for whatever the reason is. Nobody has a right to put their hands on you, period. I think a lot of men do not understand consent. She said no. There was actually a point where she said no. First of all, he had no right to put his hands on her. I don't care what the discussion was about, how deep it got, how nasty it got. He did not have a right to do that to her. And, they need to make an example of that in some kind of way. I think he should be held, if she feels that strongly, to file charges of some sort, because we got to make examples. There's a point when no means no. I feel very strongly about that. I don't care if I'm a prostitute. I don't care whatever. That he was in the wrong.
Miss Nisha.
Well, for me, I think that I was disappointed because she said no multiple times and she let out a little scream. And it just seemed like the guys that was sitting right there at the table could have nipped it the first time, but they didn't. It was like they was laughing and thought it was funny. And kind of encouraging it, like, or pretending like, oh, I don't see it. You know, you better do what you gotta do.
Looking away.
You know, looking away instead of protecting her. You know, so it was disappointing to me. Yeah.
So, I do not like what Sukihana represents. She raps vulgar, she talks vulgar, and she acts vulgar. However, right is right and wrong is wrong. Like I said, I don't care if you're a prostitute. I don't care if you bucket naked. A man does not have a right to touch you in a sexual manner. Some people said that it wasn't all that serious. All it was a kiss. So, how would you have reacted, Miss Adrian?
I think I would have punched him. He would have got socked, slapped, and probably knocked out because he kept laughing about it as if, it was okay. Maybe he felt it was okay because it was her. Maybe he felt it was okay because of their previous conversation. Whatever the case may be, he was in the wrong. And he had her head forced back. You are violating me. You are touching my person. You back up. And yeah, he would have gotten slapped.
So, some people said that they would have done that, and they said because she didn't do it, she wanted it, or it was okay. Miss Nisha, your reaction?
No. My reaction, I probably would have punched him in the mouth. And it sucks because when we look at YK Osiris and other male rappers, they rap about the most horrendous shit in their rap. But let something happen to them in the real world and people forget about what they rap about and be like, oh, but they're wrong. That was wrong. You shouldn't do that. So because she raps the way she does, and I agree, her music can be distasteful. People are saying she deserved what she got. And it's like, no, she's still a woman. She's still a human being who deserves to be treated respectfully, just like everybody else. No is no. No is a sentence. No is period. That's it.
It's enough.
And he was wrong. He was dead wrong. Dead wrong.
So for me, and we have to remember, this wasn't a sexual setting. This wasn't something done in private where they was kicking it, where they had been drinking and smoking and maybe pop some perks or whatever they do. This was business. So for me, I'm going to have to agree. I'd have tried to knock his head off. He wouldn't have by the time he got me here, it would have been on and popping.
That was
I could see the first kiss when he came and touched my shoulder. First of all, don't touch me. But when you touch my shoulders and like me, kiss me on the cheek, okay. I give out strikes. You got to strike, brother. But when you come back,
right.
I don't know how professional I would be able to be. I'd have been cussing and swinging.
We would have stopped rolling, whatever. And here's my thing. We talk about men protecting women. There was a bunch of men sitting right there. Not one time did somebody say, hey, man, nudge him, push him back. Nothing. They didn't do anything. She was
in the middle of two men, and one was like this. He was looking straight ahead, and the other one was looking off the side of his eye.
He all trying to act like it ain't even happening.
Like you said, nobody said, hey, wait a minute, what is you doing?
Ease up, homie. Yeah.
Like they didn't want to be a part of it, but you here. Right. So you're a part of it.
Yep.
And he was out there slapping and giving high fives and everything. Yeah. So, in your opinion, ladies, was that SA?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Would you press charges?
If it were me, I would have. I would have, just to make a point that's unacceptable.
And not just making a point to him, but to those others that were sitting around him.
That
it's like, not acceptable. Yes, I would have filed some charges.
Yes.
And people would probably think, like you were saying, they were saying, it wasn't that big of a deal. No, it's a big ass deal. And if we, as a woman, if you let other young girls who listen to her music think that that's okay, we're setting the wrong precedents. We doing it. Yeah, it's not good.
Yes, I would have absolutely pressed charges. After the video came out, it went viral, and you had a lot of people saying that it was SA and that she should press charges. Well, Sukihana decided to talk about it, and her first statement was kind of like she was kind of discombobulated. You know, she was going through some things. She was very emotional, and she was like she'd been crying all day. She didn't know how to feel.
Yeah.
And then he came out with an apology, which I think was cap, because he said that he
Misread,
and he had a lot of respect for her, which I call cap, because had you had a lot of respect for that young lady, you would have never attempted to do anything like that in no way, shape, form, or matter, or manner. So she came back and she said that she accepts his apology. And she would hope that somebody would, she gives him favor because she would hope somebody would give her favor in some of the things that she does. I don't think that was genuine. I think that she had to do that.
Maybe was instructed to do that
Yeah.
by her people.
yeah,
Yeah, to not cause a.
yeah,
Because I read somewhere was a young lady had said that she has to apologize so that she can continue
Her
to
career.
get paid in her career. And I talked to somebody that's very close to me, and she also said that she can't press charges because she'll be blackballed. And my reply was, then go work at Kmart.
Okay.
And my friend said everybody doesn't want to work at Kmart. And really, we're just using Kmart as a, something to
right.
throw
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Go get you another job.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what's more valuable, your soul or this career? And we have to get in the position, and I know it's hard when you're making money, but you got to get in the position where you do not allow disrespect and for your well-being to be victimized because of your career. And that's why they continue to get away with this over and over again. My question is this: what if the brother had herpes?
See,
What if the brothers had AIDS? Can we say AIDS?
COVID.
COVID. Yeah, COVID.
AIDS, COVID, some bacterial mouth disease
Yes.
that's uncurable.
Yeah.
And he stuck his nasty tongue down my throat. And now that's a disease that I have to
Deal with.
deal with for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
See, we don't be thinking about stuff.
yeah.
What if it was your loved one? What if it was your sister?
If it
your
was-
girlfriend, your cousin,
Your daughter.
Your
Exactly.
daughter.
Exactly.
Would you say, oh, it's nothing, it was just a little kiss? Oh, you guys are, too extra?
And this is what gets me in the industry. There was a interview where she did with Jason. He has his own talk show. I don't know. I mean, his own podcast.
Oh.
Did you see that particular episode
I know
where he
you
was?
talk-
She
I
was
know
on
who
the-
you're talking about.
And she was saying how she
Yeah.
like a dude to fart in her mouth, and she okay with somebody pissing on her and things like that. And again, just because her language is that way when she's on whatever platform she's on does not give anybody a right to touch her inappropriately without her permission, without her consent. When she say no, no means no. And I think if she's decided that she is not going to press any charges, she needs to use her platform to speak about it over and over and over again. So that even if she has to say I don't know. I don't know if there's some disclosure that has to go out where she now can't speak on it. But I mean, dang, utilize the platform that you have. Here's something that has happened. That's like you said, it went viral.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to see this now. And now because you haven't pressed charges, they're going to think, well, shit, well, maybe it ain't that bad.
It's tough because, again, I see that other side, too, where it's like, I can understand why she was, once he issued the public apology, because everything happened in the public, so, of course, he had to do it publicly, and then she accepted his apology publicly. I can understand how certain people probably got in their ear and said it'd be wise to just
Leave
move
it
on
alone.
from it, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because had she went the other route, or the route that we would normally encourage people to do when they've been assaulted, her career is over. Nobody's gonna want to work with her. Nobody's gonna want to, do their collabs or whatnot. She's not gonna be invited to, commentate or whatever like they was doing. She's gonna be shut out of that because she's gonna be considered a liability.
problem, yeah.
She's gonna be considered a liability, a problem. Any wrong thing, she's gonna go. They're gonna be like, oh, she's gonna tell. And I get it, because if that were me, again, charges would have been filed. But if you like, I gotta eat, I gotta feed my family, I gotta,
I'm used to this lifestyle.
I'm used to this lifestyle where I get my money,
Yes.
by the thousands every week, as opposed to, as Mona said, going to Kmart or Walmart and getting paid every 2 weeks. Something way drastically different financially.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. I get both sides. But for me, I think if I'm not pressing charges, if I'm gonna let that pass, I'm gonna go ahead and call my dude and allow him to handle that privately, away from the camera, so that YK understands. Keep your hands to yourself. That would be me though.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna choose to,
Not a bad idea.
yeah. Yeah. So he knows next time, I should just keep my hands to myself. I should keep my tongue in my mouth. I shouldn't stick it in somebody. Just,
Nasty
especially if they
sucker.
saying no. Because she was saying no. She was saying stop. She was screaming. And she reached over like this to the other guy like, help, and they just laughing like, So,
Sad.
yeah, that would be me.
I wouldn't call my dude. I may accept his apology with the conditions that he do some kind of community service.
There
He
you
go
go.
on a tour, because remember when, what was his name that did The Birth of a Nation? Nate?
Oh, yeah.
Nate? I don't know.
Parker.
I was about to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Turner.
Because the movie was not
Yeah,
Turner.
I miss
Yeah.
her name.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when they found out years ago that he had supposedly, allegedly sexually assaulted this white girl, and she had, she unalived herself, they made him go on a tour.
Yeah.
There's got to be some type of punishment. Okay, I'm gonna accept your apology. I'm not gonna put you behind bars, but you gonna do something.
Oh, you gonna do something. Yes.
You're gonna do something. So this is something that this lady has to live through for the rest of her life. So we can't say, oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's just a little thing. It's just a little kiss. She could have told him no. She, like Nisha said, she said no. She said, oh my.
And
Like
screamed
Nisha
a
said,
little.
she gasped a little. She looked at old boy and hell, what's wrong with our black men?
That
Did we
part.
hear either one of them say anything?
They laughed.
They laughed.
No, I'm saying afterwards. Did we
Oh,
hear
no.
either one
No,
of them
they
say
didn't issue.
anything?
They didn't issue a statement at all.
And probably trying to stay clear of it, but that would be the manly thing to do, is to mention it, so that you're not tied to this as if it was okay. See, to me, Duval and all these people that I had mad, like, okay, you're a cool type of dude. When you sit there and you witness something like that and you have absolutely nothing to say,
Yeah.
you not saying nothing says a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it says that she deserves it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She wanted it.
Exactly.
Yeah, she wanted it.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, ladies.
Whew. We got to be mindful that we got young girls watching. We got to be mindful that our action, when a person says no to you, it means no. If they can't say no, but they have not said yes, it still means no. Consent is very important. And she was not given consent. She clearly was uncomfortable with what was going on. And I just say, regardless of what your lifestyle is, what you wear, how you dress, what you say does not give anybody a right to put their hands on you. And that's it.
Yeah, for me, I would say just keep your tongue and hands. Keep your body. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your tongue to yourself. You can't just walk up to just any random and just do that, because that is considered SA. You know, it is a form of SA, especially when a person is saying no, because no is a sentence. That's it. When you say no, that you stop.
That's it.
That's
Period.
That's it. You back up and leave it alone. I don't care how flirtatious, how raunchy, how nasty I appear to be, or whatever lyrics I say. If we are in the presence of one another and I say no, that's it.
Respect it.
That's it. That don't mean I'm ignoring because in your song you said this. That's my song. That's lyrics, but that doesn't mean that that's real life. People make music all the time. I'm a drug dealer. I push this. I sold this. Get and talk to them in person, and they a completely different person.
Yes.
Never even lived that life. You know what I mean? And we don't sit there and be like, okay, I'm about to test this person because they said this in their song. So I would say that goes for her too. And as human beings, we owe it to one another to treat each other with respect. Period.
Absolutely.
Whether we like how they move or not, we still owe it to them to treat them with respect. So that'd be my final thought.
Yeah, respect other people's boundaries. It's not sexy to take anything from a woman.
At all.
There's women that will allow you to kiss them, but she wasn't that woman. You know, I have been in multiple situations, whether it be business or pleasure, to be the only woman in a group setting. And I just feel very grateful that those men respected me. They protected me. They accommodated me. You know, we went out, they would open my door. They would kind of
like a lady.
Take me to the side if we were walking and they thought a car might hit me. You know, they let me order my food first. Mo, you okay? Mona, you good? You know, I felt like I could rest in my femininity. I felt like I had my little personal bodyguards, whether it's for one day, a weekend, or for a week. Respect. Y'all want us to act like women and then disrespect us.
Or allow people to...
Or allow somebody to disrespect us. Again, I would like to say to the women, what if it was you? And for the men, what if it was your daughter or your loved one? We have to think about those things. We have to put those things into perspectives. Like Nisha said, everybody is human and they have a right for people not to violate them. That's my final thought. And we're going to talk about what happened on June 21st with Miss Carlisha Hood. LaRon, do you have the clip for that incident? Yes, sir. This is going to be fair use, everyone.
Murder charges against a mother and her 14-year-old son have been dropped.
Get your food! Who? Get in the car? Who? Nay. Get your food! Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my grandma, say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh, say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
The man later died from his injuries. A state attorney's office says they moved to dismiss the charges due to emerging evidence.
Carlisha Hood, a single mom, raising her son, a 14-year-old honor student, honor roll, by the way, who had just graduated middle school. Just happened to be going out to get something to eat. And I'm going to take it a few days back, just a few days before that even happened. Carlisha Hood literally gave shout-outs on Father's Day to fathers and offered to buy dinner for fathers because she said, I understand what it's like to be a single parent and not receive text messages, not receive help and whatnot, and literally was buying dinners for fathers. Carlisha Hood. Carlisha Hood is a registered gun holder.
Security.
Yeah, she's also security, but she's a registered gun holder. Legit. allowed to, conceal and carry,
Uh-huh.
right? But most of all, she's a mom. She showed up to this restaurant to get some food. She had her son in the car, and as we see, if you look at the video, or if you look at that restaurant, because I'm sure it's been everywhere, it's a clear window. You could literally see inside whatever's going on, because it's like literally just so open. And it wasn't like it was a lot of people in there. It wasn't. So the way the parking is, and it's facing the window. Carlisha Hood was in line to get her food and was making a decision on what she wanted, and was, trying to consider what she wanted to do. And we're going to call him JB, since that's what his family call him. JB decided he got tired of waiting and didn't want to wait, and was rushing and was arguing and got in her face and was telling her she need to get her food and get the fuck on, or she need to just go. And things transpired. Even though she was trying to de-escalate, he didn't want to hear all that. No one intervened. And as you seen in that clip, on his grandmama, when he said, "Oh, my grandmama, I'm going to knock your ass out," he indeed, with all his might, balled his fist up and punched her again. And then you hear what you heard, that sound. Her son, the 14-year-old, I'm sorry, let me take it just even a step back before that. Before he punched her, because that's the clip you saw was the original clip that they tried to send before you got to see the rest of it or whatnot, where because misinformation was put out there to give the impression that she sent a text message to her son saying,
Bring the gun.
Bring the gun. Come inside, right? And then the longer extended version was released or whatnot. But he was threatening and yelling and whatnot, and her son got out the car, stood by that door, and was looking. And Carlisha looked at her son and said, "Go get in the car. Go get back in the car."
Mama got this.
Right, because more than likely, Mama figured, "I got it. It's not gonna be what you think it is. I got it. Go get back in the car." Her son didn't move. Her son stood right there. And by the time he said, "Go get in the car," he punched her hard. And if you really look at that video and listen, it was a hard ass punch.
Yeah, you can hear it.
You can
hard.
hear it.
You can hear it.
You
Could have
can hear
killed
it
her.
connect.
Hard.
Yes.
And then proceeded to hit her again while other people just started running away. And then you hear what you heard, that shot. And that's it for that video. What transpired is, the young man shot him in the back the first time, and JB turned around and ran out the restaurant. The 14-year-old chased him and shot him again, like put him down. And then Mommy took the gun. They went and got in the car, and they went home. Carlisha and her son, I can't say what happened in that house that night as far as conversations or whatnot, but what I will say is the very next day, her and her son went and turned themselves in to the police station for what happened. And as far as by the time that happened, that's when misinformation was being spreaded. People was accusing her of sending a text message to her son saying, "Bring the gun in," and people were saying she was a poor mom, blaming single mom, saying she shouldn't do this. He's probably a delinquent. Why would he have a weapon? Nobody realizing it was her weapon, and it was bad because some people had access to the clips of them punching and some people didn't, right? And so, but fast forward to the truth actually coming out, to that person, the young lady who actually filmed it, because it was a young lady who filmed this while it was happening. And the main reason why they was able to let it go, 2 reasons. 1, her version of the film footage of what she shot when all that happened. And 2, when they finally looked at the footage from the inside of the store and saw what happened. Charges was dropped a week later, right? So now I'm going to go to you, Adrian. I'm going to start with you first. What was your first thoughts when you saw that video?
Oh my God. I was so angry. I was angry for a couple of reasons. First of all, the fact that there were other men that were standing in there. And at the time, and I understand sometimes you don't want to get involved in something because you don't want to possibly get hurt. But we talk about all the time how men are not protecting women, and we need to protect our women more. But I seen when he did the first punch, there were a couple of men that you could see in the video that hurry up and turned around and got up out of there. That was disturbing to me. What was even more disturbing is knowing that Mr. JB, B standing for bitch, I don't know, but this ain't the first time that he done put his hands on no woman. And the girlfriend supposedly was in the background egging him on, probably encouraging him because, hit her like you hit me, nigga, you know? That's probably what it was. Hit her like,
hit her like you
hit me. It's your bitch ass. But see, the thing, it just, oh my God, it fuels so much anger in me because I'm sitting there, number one, seeing how when you see something, say something. That's this little slogan in the domestic violence world that we use a lot, you know, because for so long we grew up, you better not get involved in nobody's stuff. But here you had an opportunity, maybe the guy, bless his heart, would have maybe still been alive. Maybe they could have tackled him down and beat his ass and stomped him out. He might have still been alive. But I guess, and I get why people, especially, remember they're in Chicago. Chi-Town, they moving a little bit different than we move around here. You got to carry some heat. You got to, whether it's legal or not almost. But it was just really, really disturbing. I felt bad that they had made all these judgments on this woman before even knowing her, knowing the situation. Here you got this good kid who was protecting his mama, and the jails are full of young men who are in there for protecting their mothers. And I thought for sure this was going to end up the same way. Thank God it didn't. And they, looked at all the evidence and realized this JB dude has a history. He called himself the Knockout King. So this is him. This is what he does. And unfortunately, sir, there are consequences for your behavior. So, good night.
Mona, what was the first thing that went through your mind when you saw that video?
I thought it was horrible.
Exactly.
Because I'm also thinking about my son. And Adrian said that we were taught that we should not get involved in things. And see, my son is very passionate. I'm going to give you an incident. We were in Del Taco, and we were in the drive-thru, and there was one car, and there was a young lady by herself that he was kind of trying to holler at because he thought she was kind of cute. And then we were behind her. And I think her foot left off the gas, and it tapped the car. So it was a woman driving, and a morbidly obese black man jumped out the passenger side, and he began to cuss out this young lady. And before I can say anything, my son took his seatbelt off, and he was standing there with his arms folded, and this man was cussing her out. And my son walked up to the car, and he was like, "Hey, man, it ain't really
that bad.
It ain't really
You're right,
nothing.
right.
She didn't even do nothing." He said, "You really shouldn't be cussing her out. But if you touch her, I'm going to knock your ass out." That he didn't know that girl from a can of paint. That's just how my son is. My son will try to he does not believe in men talking crazy to women, nor does he believe in men hitting women.
Right.
So when I thought about that, I was very scared because I could see myself in that position. My son would not shoot you, but I think my son would have let him know that he's the knockout king too, and he would have knocked his ass out.
Yes.
But in that moment, we don't know what could possibly happen because my son has a license to carry. My son has shot someone before when he thought they were disrespecting his family. So it was very scary. I don't give a damn what, dude. You leave. You go somewhere else and get your food. It's taking too long. Get the hell on.
Sit in the car till you're
You have no right to go talk to nobody. Somebody said that she should have had a man that could have went to that place and got her
Come
food,
on.
and this probably wouldn't have happened. Question. And I'm sorry to mess you up if I mess you up, but I just gotta say this. Because that shit pissed me off. I do security. I work swing shift. I get off at 10:30. It was about 11 o'clock at night. What about the people that do get off and it's swing
Yes.
shift,
Right.
and you hungry? So instead of instructing men to do better and to not be so physically aggressive when they can't get their way, to tell them they need to stop having fucking tantrums in public and putting their hands on women, you're going to say, oh, be in the house? I'm not allowed to come
So
outside?
go wherever the hell you want to go.
Come on now. Back
Yeah.
to you, Nisha.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just I just look at and I put myself even as a woman in that position, because so many people was coming for her before the truth came out and was like, black women always, they don't know how to shut the fuck up. Black women don't know how to be quiet. If she would have just shut up, he would have left her alone and this and that. And I was like, well, I said, did you watch the video? Because in the video, she's not the one that's yelling. She's not the one that's like in his face and being disrespectful. She's in line. He's blocking her, and he's in her face throwing a tantrum. And her girlfriend his girlfriend behind the scenes egging it on, like, you better shut the fuck up. He don't want, like encouraging it and laughing. I don't think, honestly, she could have done anything different without him reacting, because, again, we know he's known as the knockout king from the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's known for knocking niggas out. And I guess bitches too. Excuse my language. Right? But I don't think she could have done anything differently that would have changed the circumstances, because unfortunately, he was a hothead and didn't observe his, surroundings and was just ready to punch somebody. What do you think?
To me, this even goes into the fact that when we fail to report, and we may fail to report for whatever reason, fear and everything, because good and well his baby mom, I mean, not the baby mom, I don't know what her relationship with him is other than that's his girl. Has she done something the first couple of times? He done knocked somebody out, knocked her out, busted her teeth out. We didn't even get to see her. She might be grillless. But, what if somebody had reported him? Maybe his ass would have already been dealt with these situations.
Well, he has an extensive
record,
criminal background.
Right.
For assault.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish somebody could have just really let his ass have it.
Well, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, he done. He's done. And I hate to
He won't be a problem anymore.
applaud it so much, but the son, good aim, baby. Good aim.
Mama taught him how to shoot.
Yes, he had good aim. Nobody else in the store got hit. It was just him. So, it's unfortunate we live in a world now where we almost got to teach our kids how to shoot, how to protect themselves, how to protect the family. But that is where we are these days.
Mona?
Let me write down, because y'all know I'm just trying to y'all know I got a big ass mouth. Y'all know I talk shit. She could have shut the fuck up.
Oh, she could have. She could have.
But we don't know what the outcome would have been.
Any different?
He was already riled up. And you in my space. So I want to talk about, they were saying that the little boy should be in jail because he took the law into his own hands. We just talked about Sukihana. What if it was your mama?
Man, that's what I'm saying. Hit
Your
mother
sister,
if you want to.
your auntie, your cousin. Like I say, we always say some shit about somebody we don't know or we don't like. She could have shut the fuck up, but she didn't. And even though she didn't, that still don't give him the right to sock her like she was a grown ass man. And he did it, and he did it multiple times. So, for every action, there's a reaction.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And he went to meet his grandma.
He sat on his
my
dead grandma, so I mean,
Yep.
welcome home.
Hi, Granny.
Hey, Granny.
Welcome to the pearly gates.
Right. You
Right.
called?
We got a lot of milk and honey.
The other thing that was shocking with that situation, they did a GoFundMe page for JB. Is that what we call him?
Oh,
JB.
okay. Yeah.
So they did a GoFundMe page, and I guess later, I don't know if it's been taken down.
Yeah,
but
they took
people
that
would-
shit
They take
down.
that down once that truth. once
Because
that
I'm
truth
like,
came out.
right? Because
Not
come
today.
on now.
Yeah, once that truth.
Ridiculous.
There is a GoFundMe for the mom and son.
Oh yeah.
Initially, it was for them to get legal fees, but now that that's been handled, now they're asking because they need to move.
They really do.
They need to move for the safety of her son as well as her. They need to move. And I'm gonna come back to that why the moving thing, but I'm gonna go back to my original question about them people saying that she should have just shut the fuck up. I have a mouth. And I look at, if I'm in that situation, what could I have done differently? And some people be like, well, you could have just left. Well, if I'm there to get some food, why I gotta move? Why I gotta leave? I'm in line.
Yeah.
I'm at the front. You not even in line. Why I got? Who are you? Who are you? You know what I mean? And I just feel like sometimes, yes, for every action there is a reaction. There's consequences to our choices, and that day it was some painful consequences for him. But I don't know if I would have done anything differently, with the exception of I probably been like, get the fuck out my. Well, no, two things. One, my weapon wouldn't have been in the car. My weapon would have been on me.
My person.
You know what I mean? But this is the other reason why I think she was relatively calm, because she knew her weapon was in the car.
Even her stance wasn't threatening.
It wasn't threatening.
It wasn't threatening.
She wasn't loud.
She wasn't like,
she was
squaring off.
Yeah.
She's security, so
She already noticed
she's
that.
used
Yeah.
to these types of
She had her
encounters.
hands right in front of her where they
Yeah.
could be seen.
Yeah.
Like you
Like
said,
I'm not
she's
about
from
to
Chicago,
Yeah.
so she probably deals with a lot of transients and homeless
Yeah.
people and people
Craziness.
breaking
Yeah.
into shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to be calm.
Yep.
And really, security, you are to observe and report.
Right.
So she was. She
Yeah.
was.
She
like-
was. She
And
was
she
calm.
wasn't even, her voice was, it
was
was slightly
yep.
elevated, but it wasn't like she was screaming back
But
at
she's like been here, been
Yes.
done
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Been here
Yeah.
before.
She was. That's why I'm like, I said she wasn't. She honestly wasn't even like your regular civilian. Most of us regular civilians in that situation, you would have heard our voice highly elevated. You
Yeah.
would have saw us probably doing shit with our hands, and it could have escalated even worse. But in her situation, I'm just thinking like, she was calm, so calm that, like I said, when her son was at that door and because she's talking to him but still observing her surroundings, she was able to catch that her son was at the door, and she looked at her son and said, "Go get in the car." Like, there's no issue. Go get in the car. Not even anticipating what was about to happen or that he was gonna sucker punch her while her head was turned facing her son. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, if I'm put in that situation where I gotta defend myself, or if I'm put in that situation where I see my mom, there's this man and standing over my mom and no one else is intervening, whatever actions happens. And I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. Because he was brave enough to put his hand up to my mom and connect with her face. So he's brave enough to accept the consequences that's gonna come with this hot leg right on his ass.
Right.
You know?
And
so
see,
I don't feel bad about it.
I often thought about, what if he had a bat instead of a gun? Okay, the outcome might have been a little bit different. Either way, you getting served.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
getting handled. Because you're not gonna put your hands on mother. Not my mama. That whole place gonna be rearranged up in there.
But they really wanted a 14-year-old
Yeah.
To do nothing.
Exactly.
to fight this dude, this older man. This boy,
The
Speaking.
knockout king.
The knockout king.
you can tell that the young, and I'm thinking about my son, because, when they meet my son, they think that's your son? It's very respectable. And I'm like, what do you think? What do you
Yeah,
think?
right.
Oh, that's your son. He's very nice. He's very
Polite,
sweet. He's very
sweet,
polite.
yeah.
He's very chivalrous. He's a gentleman. And you sure that's your son? And I'm like, yeah. And I can see my son and in that young man, and you can tell that that young man had some great home training. He did not step out of a child's place.
he didn't.
He knew his mama had it up until the point that he, like Nisha said, he put his hands on my mama. I'm gonna take you down.
You done.
I'ma
By
take you
any
down.
means necessary.
I'm gonna put you down, and that's exactly what he did. Because some people was like, "Oh, he went too far. He shot him the first time." That shit. Do you know what your mindset is when somebody just attacked my mom, and I got a weapon? Somebody just attacked my mom. All bets are off. My logical thinking is out the window. All I see is that target, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't attack my mom again. And that's what he did. He got him in the store. When that man ran out there, chased him behind him, you made sure that you're not going to get to your car to get you your weapon. You're done. That's it.
The next time you think about hitting a woman, think about this shit.
Exactly.
This
Right.
hot lead in your ass.
Right.
Some people were saying that she should have taken the ass kicking and then. Oh, when you go in the comment section, that is
Yeah,
some
they've
wild
said some
people.
crazy things.
She
like-
should have taken the
she should've
ass kicking and then went and called
and
the
filed
police.
charges. Yeah, and filed charges. No, that's
The way he hit her,
like a man.
oh my God.
Gone. Here's what I will say to that. Gone are the days where some women are just going to sit there and allow someone to physically attack them and do nothing. Gone are the days
Not happening.
where people are going to sit within our community and be quiet when someone physically attacks them and do nothing, because we got to have this like honor and respect that this is the community and we don't want anybody else to get it. Gone are those days. If you're not going to protect, if you're not going to stand up and hold somebody accountable, I'm going to hold you accountable myself. Attack me if you want to. Try it if you want to.
Today we got
Try
a voice.
it.
We got
we got
hands and
access
weapons.
to weapons now.
Yes.
We don't have to sit there and just get punched in the mouth because that's what a woman is supposed to do. We supposed to keep our voice this low and allow him to throw a temper tantrum. No. Attack my mommy if you want to. My mommy is 5'2", 105 pounds, soaking wet. Punch her if you want to. I bet you it'll be the last punch you do. You're gonna be just like in that. You're gonna be in that same space that man just got
JB.
buried at yesterday, little knockout king. Now he's 6 feet under. You're gonna be just like that if you want to.
I
Like
wonder,
no,
did they put that on his headstone?
they put well,
Knockout King.
they had shirts. They wore shirts.
They had
knockout
t-shirts.
king.
Knockout
You
King.
better
Knockout king.
Yeah.
They was twerking to his little cutout picture.
He had a cutout
Knockout
picture.
King.
They was backing it up
Twerking.
for him, and yeah.
See, I missed that one.
At the funeral.
Lord have mercy. God, what is wrong?
And
What is
the
wrong?
girlfriend was bragging like y'all want to talk about it and say that
Did
I'm
she have
this.
all her teeth?
She had her teeth. She's something else.
She looked like.
Yeah. And he
I know he been beating her ass. I just know it. I can
Well,
feel
his
it in my
his
spirit.
girlfriend actually said that she was not the one filming. So he was
No, no,
Right?
no.
No. It was somebody else.
It was
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying it just in case nobody knows. Because
Right.
a lot of people were saying it was his girlfriend that she said it wasn't me.
no, it was Raina.
And
It was
and,
Raina because she gave an interview.
they said that he had burnt down her house. the
Yeah,
day before.
yeah.
She said that wasn't him that burnt down the house.
the
Some other
other
nigga.
boyfriend.
Some other nigga burnt down
Oh,
the
bless
house.
her heart.
Trying to figure out what kind of coochie she
The knockout. She got that
The knockout coochie. The knockout coochie.
We couldn't.
Yeah, but no, Rena gave an interview this week. That was the young lady that filmed it, and the guy that interviewed her also was able to bring on Carlisha for a little bit until Carlisha got a little emotional. But she wanted to thank Raina because she said, if it wasn't for your video, me and my son would still be locked up.
Yes, absolutely.
It was her video that they was able to drop the charges because they realized it was more of a self-defense issue as opposed to just a premeditated situation. So, and then she started to get emotional, and you could hear the son kind of crying, and she's crying, and so the guy ended the interview or whatnot. So no, it wasn't the girlfriend, but just to be clear, he had a girlfriend, right? But he also had a baby mama who had twins. With him.
Right.
So
Daughters.
yeah, twin daughters. So you got twin daughters that you willing to lose your life for to be a knockout king, right?
Punching on a woman.
Punching on a woman.
Coward ass nigga.
So while y'all telling this woman that she should have just shut the fuck up and be quiet, no, let's hold him accountable. You got something to lose, sir. You got twins. Now your twin daughters is gonna grow up and have to wonder, why did Daddy hit that lady? What was that really about? Over some food?
Well, his record shows that he doesn't value other people's lives.
That's true too.
You know.
That is
So
true
it
too.
might have been time for his departure.
Oh, it was time
You
to
know,
get put
it
down.
was-
He
it
should have
was
been put
time.
down a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
your time's up.
Question. Do you ladies and people in the audience think that she should now be pressing charges against the police? Adrian?
You know, I seen where she was doing that, and I seen a lot of people's comments on it. I don't know that. I think the police did what they were supposed to as far as arresting until they got more evidence.
Yes.
And a lot of people do sit in a holding tank or in jail for a couple of days until all the evidence is brought out. I don't necessarily think a lawsuit is warranted, although lawyers and attorneys that are very, educated in that area may have found where there was a breach or something. I don't know what. Maybe the security should have been. Maybe they could sue the place because there should have been some security.
That place ain't got no
I know.
money.
Right?
No.
Right? I don't.
They had puff pizzas. What's a puff pizza? No,
Was that on the menu?
Yeah.
Puff pizza?
Yeah, it was.
No, did you see the rat that ran across?
Oh,
No.
Lord.
Yeah, there was a rat that ran across the video.
Shut up.
That rat was trying to get the hell
The
out.
rat was trying to just leave too. Huh?
Yeah, see, that's how they are. Chicago rats.
Yeah,
They
ran
get
right,
to moving.
right when he punched her.
Nothing against Chicago.
Time to go.
Okay.
Gotta go. This is terrible.
No, I don't think she should sue the police department, but from what I understand, she was suing the city of Chicago for
malicious intent.
yeah, it was. What is her reason? It was something about for the way she was arrested.
Were they hard, or maybe they were a little rough?
It was something, but she's suing them, the city of Chicago, behind it. And I know that when I had talked to Mona about it, prior to that even being announced, I was saying if it were me, once I got out and they dropped the charges and everything, I would have sued the media. And the reason why I would have, and I don't know if I would have won or not, but I would have tried, was because it was that false information that was being spreaded that had everyone thinking that it was her fault.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
It was
I see
like,
what you're saying,
you
yeah.
sent a text message to your son to come in there and do this. And so because of that false information, her house was doxxed. Her house was destroyed. Her car was destroyed. So if people found out where she lived, like all these things, like her that put her and her son's life in danger behind that false narrative and information that was spreaded. So if it were me, I was you're gonna have to come out your pockets and pay for me and my son to move, and pay for us to to start over somewhere else, because the narrative was never true, and it took them seeing that footage to realize that girl never even had her phone in her hand. That girl
Never
was just
did.
in line
Hand was
trying
right in
to
front of
order
her.
some fucking
Yes.
food.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But a lie just like that spread it so fast that people was already had these preconceived notions like black women don't know how to shut the fuck up. Black women always getting men put in situations they can't get up. Black women
She's
got
a
this
bad
man
mother.
killed. She's a bad mama.
Angry
just
black
all
woman.
Angry, right? And it was just like, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Did you look at the video? I don't need to. No, but you should though, because you going off your preconceived notions and you not looking at what actually happened. So yeah.
I do hope that they have something much like California has victims of crime compensation, where they will help them to move, even if it's out of state. They will pay for extensive therapy for both of them, because I think the son, I think his name is Christopher or something like that. He's gonna definitely need some
Therapy.
therapy.
Yeah.
Exactly, and her,
both of them.
But yeah, I hope they have something like that can help them expedite that process of moving and getting up out of there so that they can start their healing process, because it's going to be a long journey.
Yeah.
I think it's a thin line between pressing charges and like you said, getting the hell on. I'm going to have to agree with you that them being arrested or him being arrested was a normal procedure.
Yes.
And like you say, some people stay in there longer than they should. You have to be careful when you're dealing with these attorneys that are looking for large
come on.
cash payouts,
Yeah.
they were very fortunate that it went the other way, especially being black.
Yes. Oh, yes.
His mama had a license to carry. He didn't.
Correct.
He was 14.
Correct.
They could have him in juvie right now.
Correct.
Trying to try him as an adult.
Exactly.
So I don't know if I would be pushing to sue anybody. I would be trying to get the hell out of Dodge. But to each his own, you know.
Yeah. Well, final thoughts. Start with you, Adrian.
Wow. That story, it's amazing that that happened the way it did. It just goes to show you that there's still some fools out here on these streets that have mental health issues that are not being treated, that are stupid, and people support them instead of getting them the help that they need and leaving them the fuck alone so they can figure out what the hell they need to do in their life. Because that whole thing could have turned out way worse, way worse, you know. So my final thoughts are, be careful, be aware of your surroundings. If you can avoid confrontation at all costs, try to avoid it. But this lady did not deserve that. She did not. And I just wish her and her son the best in their journey on healing. And let's look out for each other, because one of the things that stood in both of these stories that we went on today is that who got your fucking back?
Nobody protected that woman.
Nobody.
The black woman.
And I get it. You, especially in Chicago, they probably scared. Man, if I do something, somebody else gonna come out from the back with a gun. I get
Well, let me interject just a little bit.
Yes.
Chicago women bought it too. So
Yeah, that's true.
You know
They
what I'm
bout
saying?
it,
So
yeah.
it might have been a situation where they was like, she about to knock his ass
Yeah,
out, you know?
exactly.
We don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's basically it. I just hope that we can take care of each other a little bit better.
Mona.
Kudos to the young man.
Absolutely. Good job.
I'm going to have to agree with Adrian. I hope that there is some type of fund so that he can get some therapy, so that he can share his story with a professional, because we don't know what effects could happen for this young man that just graduated and his life was looking so promising, and we don't know his mindset behind him having to kill somebody. He's a baby. He's still a teenager.
Yes.
Shout out to Nicki Minaj. I think that she did send some type of financial contribution to both of them. I also think that mother should get some free counseling as well. You know, this will alter their lives,
Forever.
you know, for what they knew their lives to be,
Yeah.
you know, for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's it. Yeah. I agree. I know Nikki made an announcement saying that he go to college, she would take care of his college education, his tuition. So I do know that. And she had, also said that she would send something to them if they needed, in case, they had to move, because she said that son was protecting his mom, rightfully so, and he was. I think we need to be more mindful of always, because we talk about this all the time when I say that a lot of times when a story comes out, people want to be so quick to be first to talk about it that they don't even take time for everything to come out. They don't wait for the research. They just go with their preconceived notions of how they feel about whether it's regarding men or women and how they feel about that gender, and they just make their own narrative and just say this is what happened. And so then other people listen to it and think, oh, well, that's what happened. And a lot of times that's not even what happened when it comes to the truth finally coming out. But because of that, it spreads so fast that everybody will believe it, because now everybody is saying it, just like these false ass stats. But we'll get to that another day. But I think we need to be mindful of when we see something happening, if we know that we're in a position where we can kind of de-escalate it. I've been there when I seen a woman literally get in a man's face and be arguing and punching, and nobody's doing anything, and I'm like, sis, come on now, chill, like relax. Nah, you know, no, I don't know you, but I know what you looking like right now. Come on, sis, you better than that. Let them go. If you got to do all this, let them walk away. Let them go, because it's not gonna get any better. One of y'all gonna be locked up. One of y'all could lose your life. Like, this is not what you want, right? You know, I've done that, and so to see that nobody was protecting her, nobody intervened. And granted, I know the men in the video appeared to be older men, and maybe they was like, older. I ain't finna fight this young guy's boy, or, you know, these young kids don't respect elders, you know what I mean? That could be it too, but I just feel like we need to, if we can de-escalate, we should. As women, there is no reason ever, in my opinion, for a woman to encourage her man to hit a woman. Never. That's your place. There's no way I would have been comfortable with my man arguing with a woman, especially over what they was arguing about. I would have been like, nah, babe, let's go. Nah, babe, that's not it. Babe, come on now. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go. You know what? You go get in the car, I'll order the food. Like, I there's no way I would have been laughing and giggling and watching that, because to me, I think that's dysfunctional and it's backwards. There's no reason why a man should be arguing with a woman, period. To me, I feel like that's bitchy.
It is.
That's bitchy to me.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't like to call men bitches, but that's bitchy when men want to argue with women. It just don't make sense to me, because men are supposed to be the logical ones. We're supposed to be the emotional ones, right? So, you know, we need to learn how to deal with our emotions a little bit better. You know, we shouldn't be arguing over minute things, and pay attention to your surroundings, because you never know who's watching you. You never know who's with whom, because sometimes you could be arguing with a person and don't realize who they with.
True.
You never know. So you need to be careful on that. And as a people, as Black people, we need to start doing better, doing things a little bit differently. Therapy is highly needed, because there's no reason why somebody should be known as the knockout king. If you got that kind of anger in you and that kind of violent tendencies in you, we need to figure out why you feel like you need to fight everybody every day, you know? That's my final thoughts. I know Mona got something to say.
Nobody even called 911.
Nope.
All these cell phones that we have.
Oh, we were too busy filming.
Nah, we don't snitch, remember?
That's
no snitch
right.
policy in our community, remember? I thought we don't snitch.
Niggas ain't a part of my community.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, then nobody even called 911. It's like we are so desensitized and so numb, and this is what happens.
Chicago.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, especially Chicago. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it happens in California.
True.
Nisha's absolutely correct in everything she said. I can't even say too much more, because I do have a son.
Yes.
And this is kind of emotional for me. So yeah, that's all I had to add.
All right. Well, to our chat that's been in there today, we appreciate you. We thank you. Shout out to C. Jones, Jay Shine, James McClendon. Who else am I missing? Woodley. I believe that's it. And some of you, you didn't, type, but you're here because we see you. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
Please like, share, subscribe to our channel. If you feel like there's something we missed out, please let us know. C. Jones, I agree. I don't know if she should move to Tennessee, but yeah, she definitely should move for sure. And please like, share, subscribe to our channel. If you feel like there's something we missed out on, let us know. If you feel like there's a topic you would like us to discuss, hit us up. Let us know, whether it's in the comment section or on our social media handles, and we'll talk about that as well. And we are out. Bye.
Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite.